Hello and welcome to Law and Order SVU here on FANVERSATION. I am Yael Tygiel. This is Taylor Gates. Hello, Taylor.
Hello.
I'm excited. Today we're talking season 24, episode 13, called Intersection. Before we jump into this episode, let me please let everyone know about the hotline. If you need help, reach out to RAINN, RAINN, Rape and Incest National Network, I believe is what they're called.
I think so.
That sounds right. RAINN is a wonderful place that you can reach out to. Their number is 1-800-656-4673, 1-800-656-4673. Taylor, what does that spell?
It spells hope.
It does spell hope. So please reach out if you need them. They also have an anonymous chat you can do online if you don't want to call. If you are new to our show, welcome. Consider this your content warning. I'm going to say some shit this episode because I always say some shit. Shit comes out of my mouth. Yep.
Can confirm.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
Look, this show deals with serious issues. This episode deals with, some wild issues, deals with rape and sexual assault and tasing. And I'm sure that we will say things that are not appropriate. So this is your content warning. Okay. I really hope everyone hears the dun dun in their head when I pause there.
Dun dun.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm taking off my sweater. We're getting into it. Got my cold shoulder on. Here we go. We have people watching us live in the chat, and I absolutely love it. Lizette is here. Alexa, Doreen, Zach. Hello, everybody live in the chat. Taylor, this episode, how are you feeling? Before you begin, let me just say how happy I am it's not BX9 related.
Yes.
Okay.
I loved this episode. I thought it was so good. It dealt with such a crazy topic, which we've been talking about the past couple weeks. We're like, why are we not spending the whole episode on wild issues? This is nuts. And I love it. Never really seen anything like it before. Glad that it was surprising to me. The last 7 minutes of this episode, gold, obsessed, have so many quotes from it.
Yes.
I thought it was so good. It's my favorite one I've seen in a hot minute.
I really enjoyed this episode, and as the twists happened, Tari, my roommate who watches with me, out of obligation, sat there and was like, look, twists, you love twists. And I was like, Taylor's going to love this because the promo ruined everything. Everything was ruined. So. I know. I'm so sad that I saw it because up until, like you said, the last 7 minutes, I was like, I know where we're going. And I kind of wish trailers should only be allowed to show you the first 30 minutes of an episode. That should be a new thing. Promos can only take from the first 30 minutes because I was like, I already know this. I already know.
Oh, did you not like it when they show us the last 30 seconds last week?
Yeah, correct. Let's jump into the discussion of what happened. So the quick cap is a car accident leads detectives on a search for an ambulance driver assaulting his charges. Finn gives Detective Bruno a tour of Manhattan SVU. Okay. Let's start with Josh and Emma. So the proposal, literally when she's looking around, I started shouting down.
I know. I was like, are you kidding me? Like, dude. Like, I thought that was so unrealistic, but they were cute, so I'm going to give them a pass. But I will say, because I didn't see the promo, I was like, oh my God, is he going to throw her into the... I was so scared that he was going to do something bad to her because I'm primed to think that at the beginning of the episode, or I thought they were going to find a dead body. I thought one of those two things
positive. I was like, they're going to get attacked or they're going to find a body. That's one of those two things has to happen now. So... the fact that nothing happened and then they got in the car, I was like, what's happening?
Yeah, I was like, did I click on the right show? This is like some beautiful romantic montage. I'm so confused. But then I will say, once the crash happened, he drags her out. That was so horror movie to me. Like the slow, pick up, drag. that was so scary. But I loved the way they filmed it because it was so suspenseful.
Yeah, Doreen then says very graphic rape scene. I agree. I think that it is I feel like we don't see that very often anymore. Even my roommate watching was like, we're seeing it. And I was like, oh yeah, they used to do that. They haven't done that in a while.
Yeah.
I guess
will clarify.
Yeah.
I didn't love the scene in the ambulance. We're seeing that. I just mean like
sure.
picked her up. I just want to clarify that because I don't love like a graphic like sexual assault scene, but like the capture, like that part I thought was shot really interesting.
Yeah, I want to give some shout outs to our directors this episode, Noberto Barba, who is a wonderful human being, and the namesake of Barba. And also, so it's, I guess, co-directed by also Juan Campanella, who I believe has definitely directed multiple episodes as well. So they had veteran SVU people directing, which is great. Yeah. Lizette says the first time we saw an EMT raping people, that I can agree to. Although, yes, first time we saw that. I was like, wait, there was the EMT in the back of the ambulance, but he was stealing and then he shoots himself with the thing. Anyway, sorry, wrong episode, guys. Yeah, so my notes are all over the place. The like story of the ambulance driver rapes before we find out who he is. The story of that, I think, was an interesting, original. We hadn't seen it before. Them trying to identify why and how is also interesting. Trying to make Muncie grieve seems like a weird thing. Like, people grieve differently. Let her mourn how she needs to. Why are you bothering her?
It was kind of weird that was coming from him too, because I feel like of all people, he's not the kind of person who's gonna like show your emotion. Like, he doesn't feel like that kind of guy. But then again, I guess we don't know what kind of guy this man is because we just keep finding out shit about him.
We'll get to that. Yeah, but like, when she's like, you want me to fall apart so you can like be there for me? What's your move here, dude? I appreciated that, because my question is, what do you want from her?
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, Daryl in the chat says it was weird that he was so pushy. And Doreen says Velasco's annoying. Friends, you're amongst your people here.
He's like fine. He doesn't do anything either way for me, really. But like I said, I am glad. I think I said this last week. Like, I'm glad we're at least doing something with him that's interesting, because he's kind of just been sitting there doing nothing, contributing absolutely zero. At least he's spicing things up now. I'll give that to him.
I disagree. We'll talk about
boring is the worst sin you can have in a TV show, and at least he's getting to be a little less boring, in my opinion.
Okay, so I agree. He's not boring. I just don't care.
Yeah.
You didn't make me care.
Yeah.
Also, it doesn't feel... All right, let's do it. Let's fucking dive into this Velasco crap then.
Okay.
Because not only do I not care, but like, you didn't make... It doesn't feel believable. Nothing feels believable. And remind me, when we met him, I don't know if I'm mixing him up with someone else. Is he the one that there was like a scene with Rollins and somebody leaning out a window and he used a belt to help grab someone in? That's him, yes?
That was him. Uh-huh.
Okay. And he gives some like sob story about his father.
Yeah. And
then Rollins is like, that true? And he's like, no.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's just a liar, and we've known that from the get. Like, he has lied, every time he can about whatever. He lies all the time. So then why would we believe any of this crap? Also, the recording has him admitting to a murder?
That's what I'm saying, because I was like, last week it was all about the drugs, and I thought that's what we were doing. Right. And then it was like a twist where that was really not quite even brought up in this episode, and it's a murder thing instead. So I was like, did I miss something last week? Was I just dumb and I was thinking of the drugs, but it was actually something else? No, it's a twist. Yeah, they like misled us.
Yes, okay. It was a twist. The problem is that it was not that they recorded him give this kid drugs and then caught him like also like revealing a murder. It was just turns out he's a murderer. So then what about the fact that he gave the kid drugs? But also, what kind of listen, I don't know if people know this, but like the big rule in the real world when you talk to cops is to not talk to cops. Doesn't matter if you're innocent, doesn't matter if you're involved, it doesn't matter. Do not talk to cops. Don't talk to them. I'll send, if you really want to see this video where this lawyer explains how you don't talk to cops and cops explain how you shouldn't talk to them, I can share that. You don't talk to cops. He of all people would know not to say anything to a felon who is in jail, to a criminal. As a cop, you know better than to say things.
Yeah, it's such a weird, and I'm wondering how they're going to like tie it up. Like, what is this leading to?
Not just that, Benson has this recording, lets him continue to work, lets Muncie hear the recording, tells her, you can't say anything and you're going on leave. I'm now sending you home so you can't even help investigate. I'm going to handle it. He's still there. It's been a week. What is he doing?
I will say, loves threatening Olivia. I saw so many tweets. It's like, I think so mean and out of character. I'm like, she's kind of mean sometimes. Like, that's sort of why we like her. Like, she's kind of bitchy, and I'm into that. Like, yeah, she's caring, she's sweet, she's good with victims. Also, she's savage.
Absolutely. I mean, to victims, she's kind and caring and considerate. To everyone else, she's a boss bitch. Like,
I was into it. You know, I love that.
Oh, I do know you love that.
I ate that shit up.
Alice Jones in the chat says he could have been lying about lying. That is true. Daryl says, where is it? I was so mad they just threw the drug thing out the window.
I feel like they didn't, though. I feel like that has to be tied in somehow.
Maybe. Doreen says they do lie in interrogation, but why murder? Yeah, that's true. Is that like we've seen it where they cops lie during interrogation to get you to say things. But it didn't feel like that, because usually it's like, we lied to Bugbear that sacrilege was dead to get him to think that they could, like, they lied about that kind of stuff, but not about this. Taylor in the chat says, I was wondering, I wonder what he's going to say to Olivia when she asked him about the recording. I agree. Alexa says, interesting. Welcome, Alexa. Velasco told Finn a story about him being forced to do something bad from a gang boss, too. Okay. So I guess they have been leading up to it. It felt really out of left field for me.
Yeah, I'm trying to give them benefit of the doubt, because at least we're not just like planting the seed and forgetting about it for weeks. At least this has like been brought up. I mean, it's only been a couple of episodes.
Yeah, but he should have been put on leave.
I know. I don't know. I feel like she has a plan. She has some kind of,
Is the plan to involve IAB? I know that like we've been trained to believe they're our enemy, but he seems to be a bad cop who may have murdered someone.
I feel like no. I feel like she's gonna like try to handle it herself, because that's what she was like. Not me. I'm gonna handle it. So I feel like she's setting up for her own self to do something alone.
Did you feel like her entire thing with Muncie was kind of a test to see if Muncie will tell Velasco? Because otherwise, what the fuck was the point of doing that?
I do kind of think that, because she kind of has to test her loyalty still. I mean, could she do it differently? Sure. But yeah, I do think that was part of it.
Okay. Because otherwise I was like, what's the point of this?
She's got rats in her squad and she's trying to sniff them out.
Okay.
That's what she's thinking, I think.
All right. Let's see. What did I'm looking at my notes to see if there's anything else about this crap I wanted to know. We can go back now. I want to talk about Bruno.
We don't talk about Bruno.
We do. We talk about Detective Moneybags Bruno. So I learned that the actor who plays Bruno, which is Kevin Kane, is he's part of the Wolfverse, but not somebody that we've met on SVU. He hasn't been on SVU, but he was on some Chicago shows. and maybe an FBI show. So that's
I have to
exciting.
say, glad they didn't tell me that because I probably would have been prejudiced against him.
Okay.
Glad I didn't know
Honestly,
that.
yeah, it seems, I'm going to put it out there. I'm going to put this out there, friends. The optics are not great. The optics of getting rid of Kat and Garland. We brought in Velasco, who is a Mexican man. We brought in Muncie and made it very clear that she is a white woman. We're now saying that Velasco is a bad guy. And we're bringing in Bruno, who is another white man. The optics are not good.
No, they're certainly not.
It's season 24. What are you doing? The year's 2023.
Yeah, I agree with you. And this could have all been actually resolved very easily, which is if you didn't get rid of Kat and Garland.
Right.
You can bring in other white men, but you have to keep your people of color around as well. That's what I think is fair, you know?
Yeah. I'm being told that we have seen him before. According to Doreen, who I'm trusting, season 20, he played a man who held up stone in a bar.
I don't remember that because I don't claim the Stone episodes.
Yeah, the Stone seasons don't exist, friends.
But that's good to know. I believe you. Honestly, you could tell me anything about the Stone season. I'd be like, yeah, that sounds right.
Every time those episodes are on TV, I was like, is this an episode I've never seen? What's happening?
Yeah, it's enough for me, dog.
So that makes sense. Yeah. All right. Thank you. Thank you, Doreen, for helping us. So funny. Alice asks the most important question. Why did they have to name him Bruno after that song became huge?
Yeah.
Yeah. Correct. Yes. Ugh. Unpleasant. Alexa says loving Bruno gives me Munch vibes. Yeah, I think we talked about that last week a little bit. I think you said it, Taylor, that like
he and Finn's dynamic remind me a bit of him and Munch, but you're right. He as a character does kind of have those vibes, which is great because I've really missed that. Like Finn has great one-liners, of course, but they're not the same kind of one-liners as like a Munch would have. Like there are different brands of one-liners, and I've really missed the sort of cynicism, paranoia sort of energy that Munch really left that hole when he left. And so I think you're so right. It's about time to have someone take that mantle from him.
Yeah, I like the character of Bruno. I really like him. I think he's a very fun addition to the team. I do think that they play off each other really well. I love that. One of the best interactions, I'm going to say it now and steal it so it can't be done during quotes, was my gobs are smacked, my gassed are flabbered. Are you having a stroke or something?
Yeah, that's just insanely good writing. Obsessed.
Yeah. When he said my gobs are smacked, I was like, I understand that. And then he said, well, my gasts are flabbered. I went, what? Oh,
I see. That was so funny. I loved that.
Taylor, I hope you put that into something.
I think we should make it a thing. I agree. I think that should actually try to become like in pop culture, and it should catch on.
Yes.
My gobs are smacked and my gas are flabbered. I love it.
Will that be on a t-shirt? Yes. Yes, it will.
Maybe so.
Hold on. It's being added to the list.
Good.
Oh man, this list is too long. When am I going to have time to make these? Okay. Where were we? Let's talk about George. Okay. So George not only is a used car salesman who seems to cheat on his wife all the time, but he is a repeat offender. The actor is Daniel Pissarro, and he was in season 23, episode 21. So, friends, that's like 6 months ago.
You saw him, like 5 seconds ago. Love that for him. Booked him busy.
Yeah, he was in the episode "Confess Your Sins to Be Free," which is the one where Aidan Quinn returned as Burton Lowe. Hi. So there's that.
That one.
That's why we all forgot him. So yes, I loved this George character. Also, I think we're gonna have this discussion, and I would love to hear from the chat about this, because I've fallen into a very fun world of TikTok, dating TikTok, and I've realized that people have such a different. Every person has their own definition of cheating, and expectations with their partners. And so it's really interesting how some people think, talking to people is cheating and some people don't. And like different interpretations of cheating. So to have a wife who says, I don't mind that he does it, I just don't want to be lied to, is fascinating, because I am of that belief that, like, if I had a partner that was sleeping around, I would like to know about it.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm like, are they in an open relationship then? Or she just doesn't, she'll turn the other way? You do you. I'm not, you do you. Everyone has their own things. But wow, we had so much adultery in this episode, and I was like so here for it. It was so messy. And the way that we connected at the end. I'm sorry to jump ahead.
The connection was so great.
I'm obsessed, because I was like, wow, that's crazy. We have like two people in like the span of 10 minutes who are constantly cheating on their partners. And then they're cheating with each other. I was like, that is delicious. Thank you, SVU. That really did something for me.
I also appreciate that Bruno's wife didn't cheat on him. Like, I appreciate that he was like, to clarify, that's not what happened, because that would have felt like too much in this episode. So without it, it's the perfect amount.
So good.
Loved it. Speaking of relationship drama, the first couple that gets engaged in the beginning, I think an interesting aspect that I felt like wasn't explored, and could be its own whole episode, is how hard the man takes it. Like, she doesn't remember what happened, which I think is an interesting choice, but that's fine. But like, he feels so much guilt over not being able to protect her, and I think that there could have been an interesting conversation about like whether he just feels that way as somebody who loves her and cares about her, or whether like it's messing with his concept of like masculinity and things like that. And I just think that there could have been, or a future episode could discuss that, because when somebody is assaulted, it's not like, it affects other people as well, not just the victim or survivor. And we've seen like previous episodes, I'm literally thinking of a season 1 episode where a woman's assaulted, and eventually like we find out that her boyfriend and her broke up because like she would never let him like, hug her or whatever. She didn't trust anymore. And so like, not that we should have an episode focusing just on the boyfriend of a victim, but I think that it's just such an interesting concept. And it actually reminds me of, now I'm thinking of other episodes. It reminds me of the episode where we first meet Cap, what was Jeremy Irons' character, where the two women, his daughter's assaulted, or his daughter's assaulted because the guy came to rape his daughter. Anyway.
I agree with you though. I read this one as what?
The episode was called Mask.
Oh yes, yeah, we did that.
We did that one
long ago. I read this one as it was just him like feeling bad for her, but I agree. I didn't think of it that way, of like maybe the masculinity aspect coming into play, but I totally agree with you. That's such an interesting thing to explore. But I did like about this episode was when like Olivia went to visit her in the hospital. I think it was in the hospital. I can't remember now. Maybe it was after she was in the hospital, but she was like, is he going to like break up with me because of this? And I like really thought that was an interesting thing, and I really liked Olivia's response to that, which is like, I can't answer that because I hate it when they lie. They're like, no, of course, like, because you don't know that. And so I love how she was honest and she approached it like, only he can answer that. But I will say, if he does leave you for this, then he was not the right partner for you in the first place. And I thought that was such a good response and just such a nice way to like address that really quickly, but really impactfully too.
I totally agree. I think that, it's so interesting. He proposed, and like, if I have officiated enough weddings, I know the vows. Like the vows are, through the good times and the bad, the hard times, sickness and health. Like, this is one of those hard times. Yeah. Doreen in the chat said he felt so helpless, horrible. Absolutely. I think that's so, like, he felt awful about it, and the fact that he couldn't do anything.
Yeah.
And I think that that's such an interesting, that could be an interesting other story. I'm glad we didn't dive into it here, but it inspired the idea. Yes. Thank you, Lizette. Dr. Cat Jackson was his name. Dr. Jackson. I love that episode. Yeah. Mask. Oof. All right. We did talk about it here on SVU, and we had Lindsay Kraft, who was in that episode, join us to talk about it.
That was such a fun one. You guys should go back and watch that, or rewatch it if you've already seen it. That was a fun discussion.
Yeah. And if you're listening on iTunes, then make sure you rate and review us. You can give us 5 stars if you like us, 4 stars if you don't. We have a new review, which I will read in just a bit. So we're going to keep going.
Stay tuned for that, you guys.
Yes. For my Gru impression.
Delicious.
Let's see. Is there anything else that I really want to talk about before we get to the thing that happened?
I was going to say, I was like, honestly, we could talk about the whole part in best lines, because pretty much everything at the end of this episode is written down as a best line.
Okay, so there's something that I'm sure you have it in best lines, and it's about the red flags. Yes, you have that in best lines?
I don't know if I have that exact. Like I said, I have most of them, but I tried to pare back a little bit.
Okay, because there was a part where, so it's Muncie and Velasco talking. And he says that she's a red flag, and she says you're a bunch of a bundle of red flags sewn into a man.
Okay, no, I didn't have that one. I must have missed it because I was like typing so vigorously, but that is a great one.
That is such a good one. All right, we'll get to best lines. Let's keep going with this episode. So first of all, I just need this on the record. Finn is anti-vegetable but pro-wing, and anti-bikes but pro-metro.
Yes, correct. I didn't even put that he had so many put together that he had so many hot takes in one episode. And the pineapple pizza he was mentioning the other week. So he really doesn't give a fuck. He's gonna say what he thinks. He don't care who knows it.
Yeah, this episode though, he was like, let me clarify these facts.
Yeah. So good.
So I just have that note.
Anyway. Thank you. That was really important, actually.
Important. Moving on. So we find our ambulance driver, and the whole situation's so stupid.
It's so good.
It's so great. So his wife, I need to give up. I need to hold on. Sherry. Yeah. The actress who played her is Stephanie Wright Thompson. I'm so sorry. Stephanie Wright Thompson. I will say the best liar I've ever seen.
I literally have in my notes this exact quote. Sherry acting for her life. In life is all capitalization. I was like, this is an acting school like dream situation. She needs to join the squad and just go undercover because she's fantastic.
There's when Muncie said it's not like you've lied about an affair before, and then she goes, she starts to lie, and I was like, are we not gonna cut? The fact that afterwards, when they like take him and arrest him, that Benson didn't look at her and go, "You were incredible."
Like, right? Give her some credit.
She deserves
that shit. Yeah. Give her the Oscar right now.
Because usually I feel like we see a person who responds to that and they're like, I'm sorry. But she was like, you're right. What did she say? I loved you too much.
Yeah,
and it made me feel vulnerable.
I don't know if anyone has watched the rehearsal, the Nathan Fielder show, but that's what it reminded me of so much. I was like, she must have taken some notes because her improv skills are insane right now.
Just pulling out and like tying it together. Like,
beautiful.
Why did you do it? I loved you too much. Any human would go, what kind of bullshit? And she went, it made me feel vulnerable. And you know my family. Oh my God, ma'am.
Like, literally give me an entire biography. Like, who is she? Where did she come from? What does she do for a living? Like, she's fascinating.
She is, we don't do MVPs on this. I don't even know what that stands for, but she's the MVP of this episode.
Most valuable player.
Like in a sport?
Yeah, how have you never heard that?
I've heard the term MVP and I know it goes
the
to
most
like
valuable performer, let's say.
right,
For this.
Right. It's the person, it's gold star. The person who gets the gold star.
Yeah, let's go with
sure,
that.
She's our gold star.
She's our gold star, she's our North Star, she's everything to us.
This character is fucking incredible.
Obsessed with her.
I would like to see more of her. This character specifically.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure this actress can do many things. Who cares? Yeah. This character. This is her and the woman from last week with the dog.
The dog. Where's my spinoff? We have a spinoff for every goddamn thing. Law and Order. Give me Law and Order, Dog Woman, and Sherry. And we can get Lee.
I'm no idiot. I touched it. All right.
I touched it.
I didn't like it. All right.
I'm old, but I'm no idiot.
Sorry, friends. I don't know why that's stuck with us.
I just really want Sherry to listen to this episode so she can understand how much we love her.
Again, the actress's name is Stephanie Wright Thompson.
Stephanie Wright Thompson, you're a legend.
Okay. All right. Shall we move to best lines since that's where the rest of the episode is?
Yeah.
Or any other thoughts?
A good old chunk of them.
All right. And now Taylor will recite the final 7 minutes of the show.
Do you have any you want to say before I go?
Yes. Okay. We can trust Bruno's nose. He's like a truffle hound when it comes to lies.
It's a great one.
And I'm convinced the world peaked in 1999. That whole Y2K thing, the world ended all right. It's just taking the scenic route.
Yeah. That's like munch as fuck right there. Like that really. Oh, so good. Okay. You look like a fruit-flavored soup dumpling. He's right. He should say. I like how she talked about dating a DJ named MC Havoc. I was like, that's so good. Like, he's probably friends with Dizzer. And so you want to keep a stray puppy. You got to keep one. True.
So true.
With Bruno and Olivia at the hospital, she's her candy striper. I thought that was funny.
Oh, yeah.
When they're showing the video of the ambulance, can you replay the footage? That's not going to change anything, but sure. I was like, that's so sassy. In case you haven't noticed, humans are little more than homicidal monkeys with little respect for this earth or each other. He's right.
Who said that one?
I think it was Bruno, I believe.
Oh.
This one was just confusing to me, so I needed to point it out. It sounded deep, but I'm like not sure I understand it. I don't think that was fate. I think that was destiny. Are those not synonyms?
When was that one said?
That's Velasco to Muncie about what's his name? The guy we hated. What's it? Duarte. Like, oh, do you think it was fate that he got shot there or whatever? Or sliced?
Oh. I think it was that like that it was circumstances that led to it as opposed to like it was bound to happen. Yeah, so like it wasn't that it was bound to happen as in fate, but it was destiny because he like set up these pieces and it was destined to happen, if that helps.
Gotcha. Yeah. I was like, I love the way this sounds, but I don't know that I understand it.
Sure.
No, that's so true. Yeah. Okay, we alluded to this one, but I'm gonna say it. It's about as useful as the 2 pieces of celery they put on the plate with the buffalo wings.
He's anti-vegetable.
Yeah, I mean, who actually does see that celery? Let's be honest. I do occasionally, but mostly no. We're Greek. We stick together. I was like, is that a thing? Okay.
I guess we got to rewatch My Big Fat Greek Wedding.
Yeah, I was like, I trust you. He's a used car salesman. He opens his mouth. He's lying.
Yes.
I don't care if you smell dirty tube socks. I really loved this small moment. I think they were talking to, like, forgive me, I don't remember the exact circumstances, but I'm pretty sure it was like the guy on the motorcycle or the bike or whatever. And they're like, did you see an ambulance in the vicinity? And he goes, vicinity? So sassy. I'm like, how do you not know what vicinity means? Like, he acted like that was the craziest word that he could use.
I was like, so you're not a child.
A vicinity? Like,
and then Bruno's like in the area.
Yeah. I was like, get a thesaurus, like read a book. Come on. You know there's a fix for that, right? A Metro card. Again, alluded to it, but needed to. When the guy was taking the woman hostage, I don't care about her dog. And I was like,
oh my God. That moment, iconic. First of all, Muncie, yes. Thank you for telling us about the dog.
Yeah, I don't care about her dog. Is this because I'm having an affair? We're not marriage counselors, okay? But you might be onto something. That's maybe my favorite of the whole thing.
Yeah.
You need to talk to your husband and say what? I don't know, but if I were you, I'd lie.
Yes.
You said it earlier, but I have to say it again. It's not like you haven't lied about an affair before.
Right.
And finally, love works in mysterious ways. So does adultery.
Beautiful.
Like I said, that last part of the episode, my favorite thing I've seen from the show in a hot minute. It was so chaotic and good.
I definitely thought you'd have her entire life.
Like I said, I almost did, but I was like, I can't just write the whole thing down.
Mine, yes, you can. Mine literally says, I loved you so much. It made me feel vulnerable, ... Because I was like, Taylor's got the rest of it.
No, I'm sorry. I was just not going to write the whole thing down. And plus, I really just like the prep for it, too, because they were dragging her so hard.
Yeah, but they really were. But I just loved what she said about, like, my family, but because of them, I don't trust. And so you're making me nervous. I was like, God.
No, here's the thing. I was too enthralled by her performance that I couldn't even look away enough to write it down. I was just captivated. I felt like she was talking directly to me and to my soul.
Oh, our chat is agreeing with a lot of these. Stray puppy, hilarious, absolutely. I mean, literally, he's called Muncie puppy so many times. They should use Bruno's nose with Velasco, says Alice. I agree. I think that might be interesting to see Benson and Bruno going after Velasco would be very interesting. Alice points out we definitely missed a huge opportunity. Thought the unused fondue pot would make an appearance. Yep. Fondue pot, unused fondue pot. That's another crime. Is it?
Who yeah, like literally, I agree. I love fondue, but like that feels like a lot of work to.
Carisi. What year is it? 1970? Come on.
Oh my gosh, wait. I'm seeing Lizette's comment. Will you pull that up?
This one, that 1999 was the year SVU premiered.
That's such a good point, Lizette.
It really is a good point. But I'm gonna, just say as an old person here, do you not recall the Y2K moment?
No, I do, but I'm just saying, well, no, I don't, because I was 4.
Yeah.
But culture peaked in 1999 when SVU came onto our screens. I think she's correct about that.
That is true. That is totally true.
That's what I'm saying. Like, she's right.
Yeah. Amazing. Those were some of our favorite lines. If you have favorite lines, you can let us know watching us live or anywhere you want to leave us a comment. They do make me giggle. For those who haven't watched this before, I watch organized crime, so none of you have to. But for the last few weeks, I've been very busy and also angry. And so I have not seen, I couldn't. After this episode, I was like, I can't sit through another show.
I will say, I heard a rumor that this week was very Belle centric
Yes.
and Jet centric. So honestly, I might watch it because those are by far my favorite two parts of the little of the show I've seen. So maybe I'll give it a watch for you.
I think I'm still in episode. I think I only watched like the first 10 minutes of the episode before, but there's no episode next week, so I will catch up by the time we get back to new episodes of SVU.
Okay.
Yeah, we're on the next episode of SVU is on February 16th after Valentine's Day. So you will not be getting us or SVU for a bit. But we do have a new review on iTunes. So if you like us, please leave us a rating and review on iTunes. We do very much appreciate comments on YouTube as well. But the iTunes reviews is where we will read reviews on the air. And we got one. And I guess this is what we're doing now is I do a Gru accent.
Yeah, it's giving Rachel Weisz.
Okay. I do Rachel Weisz doing Gru.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very elaborate.
Okay. So this is a 5-star review from Chappie, New York. Let's see if I can get into it.
I'm ready.
Okay. The title is The Best. Fuck.
Period.
Okay. Been an SVU fan since Payback, and this podcast is a must listen if you want to hear about stuff you may have missed. I enjoy the live chat. You hear all different angles of my favorite show. Yael and Taylor banter, and their different views make you think and sometimes even change the way you look at the episode.
Ooh. I
look forward to S review on Sundays as much as SVU on Thursdays. Thanks, ladies. Great job.
That was really good, Yael.
Thank you. Thank you.
She's really good.
Am I as good as Sherry?
No.
Don't
push it, but you're still good.
I tried.
No one's as good as Sherry. She's
the best.
She's EGOT. Give her EGOT right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. On that horrific note, thank you for the review, Chappie, New York. Very much appreciate it. And thank you to everyone who's live in our chat. Taylor, we do a thing here every episode called the weekly poll.
We do.
Talk to me.
We also do What Did We Learn? And I can't wait.
We'll get to that.
Okay. I'm just saying I'm so excited. I have such a good answer.
Oh,
so,
fuck.
Weekly poll.
I'm not prepared.
Well, I am. So, anyway, last week we asked the most divisive poll of all time. And that was, how did you feel about the EO scene? So.
Oh, right. And it was super specific. I loved your poll.
There was 124 votes. We usually get like 30. I just want to say, we love it. Thanks, guys. Show up like this every week. In last place, we have people who liked it and don't ship it. That's a mere 5.6% of the vote. So people liked it but don't ship a yo. Not very many people fall into that camp. Third place, we have.
I think that is what I voted.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. In third place, we have people who didn't like it and don't ship it. So that's 8.1% of the vote. So we have 4 more shippers than non-shippers.
Yeah.
On my Twitter, at least, which makes sense.
Makes sense.
Like goes to like. In second place, we have didn't like it, do ship it. So people who are probably disappointed by the promo. That's 21.8% of the votes. In first place, with a whopping 64.5% of the vote, that's like a very good majority, is people who did like it and do ship it. So I guess maybe the promo was not as like much of a letdown as maybe I thought that it might be for people.
Maybe, I mean, we've talked about this, how like almost no one watches it on TV.
Right.
And so it's very possible that a lot of people didn't see the promo. And
True.
so it felt, I'm going to assume that it felt to them as though this is a natural build, whereas
I
it
just
felt to
feel like
everyone else like a
you're
big old
right.
letdown.
I just feel like beyond the promo, there was so much press and hype. If you're even on Twitter in this fandom for a moment, or you watch any kind of like morning TV, I just feel like people really talked about it a lot building up to it. But you're right. You're absolutely right. This week, I want to know how you guys feel about Bruno, aka Moneybags. I want to take people's temperature on him.
Mhm.
Right now, 0% hate him, so that's crazy. Like, no one hates him so far.
Wow.
We have 37.5% think he's fine, or like more on him. And in first place, we have a lot of people so far who say they love him, 62.5%. I agree. I think I love him too. But new people, you never really know like how people are going to respond. I don't know. We're just in our own bubble here liking him, but no, apparently he is likable to most people.
Yeah. Interesting. We'll tell you where to find the poll in just a bit. We still have people chatting in the chats. Audrey says this episode felt kind of different, like one of the better ones, not too predictable like past ones. That is totally true. Even with all the like twists being spoiled for me because I saw the promo, the whole end of it was a fun, enjoyable moment.
And just the concept is wild.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
It was a very interesting episode. Yeah. So very interesting. And now the segment we all forget about, but Taylor's prepared this week. Taylor, what did you learn?
I was fascinated to hear about how the ambulance system works. Like, maybe I have been living under a rock or I'm just dumb, but I didn't know that they turned lights to green. I kind of thought they just went through red lights, if that makes sense. I didn't really know that there was a device to use that. And then, of course, because I didn't even know there was a device that existed to do that, I certainly didn't know the technological how they worked. And I thought that was really cool and so interesting. And how people can like make them themselves is so scary to me.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Did you look up if this is real?
No. I just
Okay.
assumed it was. It felt like they wouldn't like do something that was more like fantasy, like doesn't exist. Right?
So, well, I don't know. I didn't look it up, but I do know that growing up, there was a theory. When I first started driving, there was like this rumor that if you flash your lights at the light, it signals to it that like you're an ambulance with lights. And so it'll get the light to change faster for you. Then when smartphones became a thing, there was an app that you could download that claimed that it was a button you could push that would change the light faster for you. I don't think that either of those actually worked. I genuinely think those were placebo effect rumors.
Yeah.
So I don't know if this is a real thing. And I would be fascinated to find out. So if you in the chat know and can give us a resource, because I don't know that this is a real thing or not. That said, the idea that there's something that will automatically change the light sounds unbelievable. Like the one that he hacked, I'm like, okay, that I could get. But the ones that like an ambulance use doesn't, because we have the lights where it goes yellow and then red, as opposed to like Europe where it goes green to red. So if the light would change, it still would be a process of change.
Right.
And if you're driving towards it as an ambulance, you would have to hit it early enough to register for the other lights to change to get you to a green.
I feel like that does make sense. I feel like that could happen though.
No, it could. It's just interesting. It's interesting.
Yeah.
And you're
That's
right.
fascinating. I had no clue. And you're right. And maybe it's not actually true. I feel like it is, or there's maybe something like it. Maybe they could have definitely simplified it at least for the show. But I definitely feel like there's something to that. And I thought that was really interesting. I had no idea.
Yeah. also thought it was very interesting, and I'm even more interested to find out how much of the truth they used and how much of the truth they embellished. What did I learn? I learned that the world peaked in 1999, and that whole Y2K thing, the world ended all right. It's just taking the scenic route.
Well, yeah.
I'll say this. I feel that way about 2016. Like, so, like we're on the death spiral here.
That's so interesting. I'm gonna have to think about what year I think was like the peak, and now we've all been going downhill since.
I think it peaked. Sorry, it didn't. It must have peaked before 2016. 2016 is when it
started going downhill.
Yeah.
I believe that's maybe the year you met me, actually, now that I think about it.
No, I met you well before then.
2016?
Yeah.
No, I didn't even come to LA until 2016.
Huh.
There's something to that.
You are the shining light in this downward spiral.
Yeah. I mean, I figured that's what you were referencing. Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah.
All right, moving along. Friends, we love doing this show for you, and we keep doing it because, well, we like it. We like it.
Yep.
So we're gonna keep doing that. We also, per the request of our iTunes comment, at some point we will be doing zebras. When? I don't know, but we will be doing zebras. Bing, bang, bong. We got to do it. I guarantee it.
Bing, bang, bong.
Maybe we should do a whole bing, bang, bong. Like all the bing, bang, bongs. All the
Bing,
Stuckies.
bang, bong cinematic universe. So amazing. BBBC.
So stupid. Oh, Stucky. Yeah, let's see if we could get that to happen. But in the meantime, as a reminder, next week there is no new episode, so we're going to take a break. We're going to have so much trouble at the end of February when I leave town.
Yeah.
That's a problem for another day. All right. What else do I want to tell people? I should tell them about the swag.
You should.
Okay.
You certainly should.
Hilariously, you know what? I'll tell you all a story.
Oh. Story time.
A friend of mine who was adopted was telling me something about their birth mother. And I was real suspicious. And so I was relaying the story to my roommate. And he goes, she probably thought that her baby was just like a slamming pair of jeans. And then they went out of style. And I laughed hysterically because if you all don't know this, you can buy a onesie for your baby that says slamming pair of jeans, because a baby is in fact not a slamming pair of jeans. It is not an accessory.
It's not an accessory.
Right. So we have weird and silly swag that you can purchase. There are links below, and they are all at the I think the close to the lowest rate available to sell it, because we're not intending to earn money on it. We just thought it was funny.
That's actually my entire income is based on the swag we sell.
In addition to the slam pair of jeans onesie for your baby, there's also like a shirt where it's at the bottom, so if you're pregnant, you can wear it. It's for you, and it says it over the baby.
I'm now thinking about that whole speech from the girl to Olivia, and I'm add this to the list. I know what a MILF is. We're gonna be the hottest MILFs on the block. I feel like maybe we need to make "I'm gonna be the hottest MILF on the block" a shirt, and then slam pair of jeans. Why are you shaking your head? This is a great idea.
Sorry, these are great ideas. When you say we should make, that's what I'm shaking my head at.
Because we have so many.
Because we have so many and I haven't done them. I'm the one who makes them. So in addition to the Slam Bear Jeans onesie and shirt that you can buy, we have a really heartfelt, warm sticker about being true to yourself.
Well.
Hold on, I pulled out my headphones. I was laughing so hard.
I'm so out of pocket today. I'm so sorry.
There's a really heartfelt Noah quote. You can get that. There is a prescription for orgasms with consent. There's a justice for Snowball. Oh fuck. Yeah. Soon there will be more. Detective Moneybags Bruno is a good one.
Yes.
You know, if I didn't have dinner plans tonight, I would sit here and make a bunch of these.
I want everyone to know her dinner plans are with me. You're like, it's the fault of the person who asked me to dinner, who's literally just in the box right next to me.
Correct. I appreciate you pointing that out because I was going to. Alice. Alice coming in strong. Alice Jones says, according to a quick Google search that led me to global traffic technologies, the lights changing for certain vehicles is a thing. Thank you, Alice Jones.
Love to hear
coming in with the clutch. That's a thing people say.
Coming in with the clutch.
I don't know. English is
that's what the kids language. Are saying. Coming in with the clutch.
What is the quote that we decided we're going to make a thing?
Clutch. Oh, say that again.
The one we've decided. My gobs are smacked. We're making that.
My gobs are smacked in my.
Gats are flabbered.
Are flabbered. You have to really kind of think about that one before you start saying it.
The second half that the gats are flabbered. That one.
It's a tongue twister.
It is a tongue twister. I also had to think about when I was typing it. I heard him say it.
Yeah.
And then I went to type it and I went, what is it?
I want to see the blooper reel for that because I can't imagine he got on the first try. No offense to him as an actor, but that's a hard line.
I mean, but then like his explanation is even also harder. Like,
yeah.
What? Oh, this is a compliment. You're complimenting them?
Yeah. We need to see the blooper reel immediately. They used to release them. Not for a long time though. Makes me sad.
Well, all right. Any other thoughts on this episode?
I'm so glad we got Muncie stealing from the vending machine like Olivia taught her. I thought that was such a beautiful, proud moment for me to watch her do that.
Yes.
Yeah, that's all I want to say.
Now I want wings. But I'm just going to eat the vegetables.
Okay, so we're going to cancel the dinner plans we had because I will not be joining you for that activity.
Wait, you'll eat the wings. I'll eat the vegetables.
Okay, honestly, we'll split the price. Okay, I'm down.
Yeah, what the hell?
Okay, sounds good.
Friends, thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much.
I like that our show somehow gets derailed at the end.
At the end?
Yes, Doreen's vending machine continuity. Yes, you're
we love that.
Alice coming in. Coming in the clutch. That's the saying. Coming in the clutch. I think it's a racing term. Anyway,
no,
it's not.
Coming in clutch is the phrase. Coming in for the clutch is not right.
What is coming in clutch?
It's just comes in clutch, like, oh, that was useful. Like, oh, that was really convenient that happened. Like, oh, that came in clutch.
Hold on. I'm Googling.
You're not right. I promise.
I could have sworn there's a
that came in clutch.
No. Okay.
That was handy. Yes.
In the clutch.
In the clutch? Who says that?
It came from sports. I'm
sure it came from sports, but that's not how people. Coming in clutch is right. Coming in for the clutch is not.
In the clutch. Coming in the clutch.
But you won't say the before. Coming in clutch. Not coming
that
in
might
the
be how
clutch.
It's said now.
You delete the. That's like saying the Twitter, the Instagram. That's not what you say. Coming in clutch.
It is a very important or crucial situation, especially during a sports competition.
Yes, so I'm talking about in common vernacular.
Sure. But I think, I believe that this originated from racing because cars have a clutch.
I agree with you. I'm not saying I don't. I am disagreeing with the phrase that we all use when we're not racing cars. that we don't often do.
I
Coming in clutch.
English.
What did we learn? This. We learned every week. Maybe we have to add a segment where I teach you a popular slang term.
It's not. Listen.
I'm listening.
Previous generations said it differently.
I don't think they ever said it like that.
I'm gonna find it and I'm gonna send
Okay.
it to you. All right, we've
Bring
lost
it
the
to
thread.
dinner tonight, and
Where was I? Alice said, "There's too much information from the chat." But yes, American emergency services can change traffic lights. Alice, thank you.
Funny how you ignored all the comments after that about everyone agreeing with me that it's coming in clutch.
Correct.
I'll say it. Daryl and Doreen are agreeing with me.
Yep. Thanks for joining us. Taylor, where can everyone find you?
You guys can find me on Twitter at alpha_Ann. You could also find me on Instagram at Taylor_Gates_. I think my final message is to keep staying in the clutch.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I'm Yael. I was raised by foreigners and English is hard. So
oh my God, not you trying to guilt trip me right now.
No, not you. I was explaining. That was not trying to guilt trip. That's an explanation.
You're like, actually, Taylor, that's super problematic.
No, not problematic. Just an explanation. Just giving context. Understandable that I fucked up. Here's why. You can find me at Yael Tygiel. If you are checking out the new show on Sci-Fi called The Arc, you should check out After the Arc. It is the official Arc after show. It is available on sci-fi.com and Electric now. Okay. We'll be back at some point. I need food. I need celery. Let's go get some.
Come in clutch.